Hello, everybody. My name is Ray. Welcome to the Evangelical Dark Web, your home for Christian news gathering and commentary. Today, we're going to be exposing Revoice some more. And in doing so, we're going to focus a light on Grant Hartley and his views, his blasphemous, I would argue, views on coming out of the closet and the comparison that he makes with that towards the death, burial, and resurrection, presumably of Jesus Christ. So we're going to be diving into that comparison that Grant Hartley makes. So don't forget to like the video and also subscribe to the channel to support our mission to expose the side B heresy that's running rampant through the church. Now, there are a couple of things to kind of define here. The Revoice movement is a conference that started a few years ago to peddle side B theology, specifically, most targetedly, in the Presbyterian Church in America. But this Revoice Conference does have much more reach than just the PCA. So that's something that's important to point out. Another person we'll be talking about is Grant Hartley. Like I said, the main figure of this video is going to be Grant Hartley. And Grant Hartley is formerly of Crew, and he now identifies as Roman Catholic, which is pretty odd, but he is on a very odd spiritual and theological trajectory. So let's just do a quick run through of who Grant Hartley is. This is a recent tweet by Grant Hartley, which definitely is summarized or succinctly summarizes his views on much of the topics we'll be talking about as it relates to Revoice in the next videos that I do on Revoice. So Grant Hartley says, "My coming out is not a confession of sin, but the offering of a gift, not only the gift of my vulnerability, but the gift of my love for men. There are plenty of sins I have to confess, but being gay is not one of them." So that's Grant Hartley specifically saying that his love of men is a gift, presumably a gift from God, but we're not entirely sure. So that's who Grant Hartley is, but that's just only one part of it. It was reported earlier this year, and this is, I believe, a deleted tweet. He says, "Losing myself dancing at a couple gay bars until in the Castro last night with my friends and strangers until 3 a.m. was as close to an experience of heaven as I can imagine." This is Grant Hartley trying to say that he can identify as gay and still be a theologically orthodox Christian, or in this case, a Catholic. So that's a picture of who Grant Hartley is. So I'm going to show you some clips from the Revoice movement and a recent panel that Revoice did on for the coming out day. And it just exposes, first of all, a very blasphemous view of Jesus Christ and the work that he did on the cross, but secondly, the syncretism of side B theology with Christianity, because these two ideologies are naturally at odds. Side B theology is a syncretism of the homosexual transvestite religion and Christianity. That's what side B theology is. And how they talk about it just shows you that. This is a competing and syncretized religion. So let's roll tape.
People who are safe for you to come out to will understand. So you don't have to feel pressure. I know I can speak. I tend to think of coming out as like a death and resurrection metaphor. That's my whole thing. Henry knows I talk about this all the time. But that can end up putting pressure on people to come out quickly, or to come out in a certain way. And I don't want that pressure to weigh down on anyone. So there are plenty of ways that you can come out in smaller, more intimate settings that could be safer.
Death, burial, and resurrection is symbolized in baptism, whether of believers or of infants. That is the purpose or the symbolism of baptism. It's death, burial, and resurrection. That is not the symbolism of coming out of the closet. This is a way that he is syncretizing the homosexual movement with Christianity by trying to bring in certain rites of passage, and syncretize them together. That is what's going on here. And this is the first mention of this. Grant Hartley, I believe, at his next speaking point, returns to this metaphor, this gross metaphor, and it elaborates on it. Roll tape.
Was so wise, and I think for me, what that immediately connects to is, yes, again, all my thinking of the closet as a death and resurrection metaphor, but like a unique Christian insight into spirituality is that the very places of death can be the places where God does the most miraculous work.
Won't he do it?
And if the closet is that place of death, that doesn't mean it's a purely negative place, because death for the Christian is never just death. Death always leads to life.
Yes.
And so
Okay.
that like I think most people experience the closet in some sense as a tomb, where there is no life. And that experience is true, but the longer you spend there and the more aware of yourself you become, you start to realize perhaps that God is there too. Or you can realize that God is there too. And then it ceases to be a prison, so much as it becomes a place of intimacy. Like you can really draw on that experience in the closet, even after you've left the closet. The closet can become something really beautiful. The tomb becomes a garden. The closet becomes like this space where you can meet one-on-one with God. So I really appreciate what you said. Thanks so much.
Death is not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Jesus promises believers and even unbelievers a resurrection, whereas believers will be glorified in the resurrection, unbelievers will not be glorified in the resurrection. So death is not a good thing. Now, it is not final for believers because, again, we will be with Christ in paradise, as he tells the thief on the cross. But the metaphor falls apart as he elaborates on it, because this is hyper-emotionalism being inserted with Christianese language. It's not profound. It's not necessarily banal, but it's certainly not profound. It's just idiotic. Grant Hartley is someone who thinks that being in gay bars with monkeypox culture is a close to heaven experience. This is not someone who understands the Bible. This is not someone who understands the Christian worldview. This is not someone who understands the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. This is someone who's trying to syncretize his homosexual religion with the Christian religion. That's what side B theology is. Side A is where homosexuality and transgenderism supersedes Christianity. Christianity is superseded. Side B is where you get syncretism. That's what this movement is. So this is just a little piece of what is going on with side B theology and the Revoice movement, because Revoice is hiding behind a paywall more now than ever. They didn't used to hide behind a paywall, but now they do, because they don't want to be exposed and they want to make money. The art guy who's the moderator for this panel, I did an entire video on him where he has a quasi-homosexual relationship while functioning as a youth pastor. He is now a Revoice staffer. So he's moving up. Revoice definitely has enough money to even employ that guy. This movement isn't going away on its own. It's seemingly growing and financially solvent. So that's why we got to expose this movement. It's also the next horizon, I believe, because critical race theory, I believe, was yesterday's issue. Side B theology, I believe, is today's issue. So once again, subscribe to the Evangelical Dark Web to support our mission here. Also, if you really want to support the Evangelical Dark Web, we have a Patreon-like system at evangelicaldarkweb.org/join, which is linked in the description below. You can support Evangelical Dark Web for as little as $5 a month, and you get access to more behind the scenes, more content on Evangelical Dark Web. Have a blessed day. Let me know what you think about what I think in the comment section, and I will catch you on the next one.